I'm a parent advocate with Bayfront Youth and Family Services, and I am the parent advocate for SPA 6 and SPA 8 in all our programs, which is the community program, wraparound program, if needed, IFCCS, School Link, and our outpatient mental health. IFCCS, it's intensive mental health services.
Okay, and then the next two things that you named, they were?
School Link.
Yeah.
School Link. We have a MOU with Compton Unified and with Paramount Unified.
Okay.
So our therapists can go in on their campus when needed and assist youth. And our agency lends the parent partners to them so that they can help advocate things like the IEPs. There was an aunt who got custody of her nephews, and one needed an IEP, and there was a lot of difficulty getting the IEP, getting testing, even the request was being denied, but this child needed help. And now I'm still in touch with this family, and they are in college getting their masters.
You would say that's what really sparked you to take a career on in this?
My children did. I actually use my lived experience to assist families in understanding the benefits of an IEP. Not being looked at as the professional for your child. The family struggle. I even struggle with that in my child's own IEP. And I've been, my oldest is 36. Their first IEP was when they were 6 years old. And with all that experience, I'm still looked at as, you're just a mom. And school districts have a tendency of looking at parents as, you're not the professional, but we are. Collaboratively and bring support. Always bring support, because two people with two heads, 4 ears listening is better. It's always better to come in with somebody else just in case there's something you missed. And always bring something to write with. When the school doesn't understand how your child's disability affects them in daily living, how they process, how they learn, and they're trying to put a one-size-fits-all in the IEPs instead of the individual education plan that it was designed to be. I always try and encourage the parents to make a parental page with all your questions, all your requests, all the accommodations you do at home that help, and put it all in writing. And at the very top, please add this to my child's IEP, because then it becomes part of the document.
So you said a parental page. What is that?
It's where parents put their, just like the school, the parents put their goals and their thoughts, and they write it up and ask that it's right, provided to the school and added to the IEP. Then you want to update your portion of what you see, your child's growth, their progress, their struggles. You want to document it just like the teachers are doing, just like the school providers are doing. You want to do that at home, because then it helps collaborate what you see and what the school sees.
One more challenge that you would want to mention?
I think sometimes the challenge is school districts don't always know the parental rights, and they'll tell them, oh, you can't bring somebody to support you, or they'll say that's irrelevant if your support brings it up. So that can be a challenge when you do have a support and they're kind of not listening.
How do you collaborate with educators, therapists, and other professionals in creating supportive environments for children with IEP/special needs? What advice would you give parents?
To openly share and ask questions. Because you're the professional for your child. Therapists might be a licensed therapist, but parents don't come with a license. But we are the professionals. We're the ones who've been there since day one. We've seen the struggles. We've seen the successes. We know what works. So asking, hey, does this work for you? This is what works for me. And bringing that collaboration, let's do this together because we want to make a difference. What can we do that's different? I can't sign the IEP because I don't agree. I can't agree with you, and since I'm part of the team, I'd like that noted. Here's what I see that helps. Here's what I see that's not helping. So just speaking up because you're the only advocate for your child.
So you said when parents don't know their rights, what are like a few things you would like parents to know that they do have the right to do, but sometimes you see that they're not exercising it mostly?
Because IEPs have their own language, I usually encourage families to educate themselves on what the language is that the teachers are going to use and the staff is going to use. And I try and encourage them to start using that language and, like access the curriculum. You have a right to say my child is unable to learn like this. And to keep advocating. Don't sign the IEP. If you don't agree with it, don't sign it. Or I agree to this part. What can we do about this? Finding out things like what is an IEE? What's the difference between a 504 and an IEP? Finding the language and take it home. Before you sign anything, take it home. Google. Google is your friend. And look it up. What does this mean? And that's actually how I learned when, I was a young mom in their 20s. Had no idea what an IEP was. Didn't understand any part of the language. So I took the IEP home and I Googled the meaning of every single word I didn't understand. And it helped. Then I started using the same language. How I got my job was through lived experience. How parent partners get their job is through lived experience. We know how to navigate systems of care. And agencies will additionally train so you learn more. This way you can help other parents by guiding them through all these different systems of care, DCFS, probation, mental health, IEPs, the regional center. And if you have that experience, look into a job as a parent partner. So I noticed that our Senate is starting to understand mental health and the needs of our children, and that's what's changing. I've been going to the Capitol for an event called Advocacy Day at the Capitol, and we talk about mental health with the assemblymen to see how we can get these bills passed that help children with mental health. Because until we start changing how we view mental health, it's still going to be stigmatized. I'm actually going in June for Advocacy Day, and one of the bills is changing the language for eligibility of IEPs. Instead of emotional disturbance, emotional disability. Changing how, if a youth is caught with substances on campus, instead of expelling them where they're not getting help, helping them, putting them in a diversion program, putting them in a harm reduction program. That helps. And those are the things that our Senate is starting to look at. Assemblymen are starting to get together, and it makes a difference. So monthly, we hold a parent support group that's open to the community. You don't have to be in our agency, you don't have to be in one of our programs. And it's for caregivers and parents so they're getting support. And we also have a talk line where you can actually call me as a parent advocate and get schedule a time, and we can talk about something. If you're having concerns about LGBT issues or parenting or anything to do with your child, helping with a system of care that you might be in, then I can give you resources, and we can provide you the guidance that you might need.
Nice, perfect. So how would they get that again? Where should they reach out to?
On our website.
Nice.
We have a Facebook, and it's on our Facebook every month with what topic we'll be talking about in our support group. And it's virtual and it's in person.